Titans must be stopped. I have had enough of these Titans. This is not Attack on Titan, though. Shout out to my guy, Eren Yeager, the GOAT. Titans are out of control in the Crucible. Slap-ons on Peacekeepers, SMG, Cloudstrike, and if you happen to be a controller player, well, GG. Hello, YouTube. I am Sincere, your friendly neighborhood Crucible enjoyer, and today we're going to talk about the Titan problem in Destiny 2, the why, the what, and how to deal with it. But before that, I do have a channel goal of 1,000 subs, so if you find this helpful or entertaining, do be sure to spam that like button, or if you hate Titans, and subscribe for more. When I first started uploading, my content was solely around things I felt were slept on as a Titan main. At the time, I absolutely loved Titans, but then the Fire Nation attack. Jokes aside, this was all before the Ability 3.0 updates, and it felt good to be a Titan main, truly. At the time, it felt as though if you're a competent Titan main, then it was something you could be proud of to some extent. Do not get me wrong, some things like bottom tree striker Titans were still oppressive, but you could still fight them. Now things are different, and I absolutely can't stand Titans. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that feeling when you inspect the lobby and you pray that you don't see any bubble Titans in your lobby? Loading up a game of Trials is like Titan roulette, literally. Please tell me why every time I'm playing Trials, I'm hoping my gaming experience isn't going to turn into a scene out of Attack on Titan. If you can relate to what I'm talking about, you're my type of people. So be sure to spam that like button and sub to the channel so we can hate on Titans together. Titans come in 3 flavors. The first type of Titan, the bot, the gym, the casual Crucible enjoyer. This type of Titan player is a delight to play against. They bot walk, they use OEM, Lorelei Splendor, or something like Synthoceps, along with a pulse rifle on a solo Titan, or if the heavens smile on you in Destiny, there'll be a Berserker Titan. But if they happen to be on your team, that delight I just talked about, yeah, that turns into sorrow and suffering real quick. It's GG, well played, enjoy the 2v3 experience. The second type, the honest Titan. This type of Titan player simply does not exist. Third and final type, there's an expression in life that says making money isn't a bad thing, but making money at all costs is. It's the same thing with this type of Titan. Forged in the fires of Mount Doom, descending from the loins of Darth Vader himself, and is about as ruthless as Eren Yeager. This is the PK Titan. Ironically, PK in Destiny stands for Peacekeepers, but in reality, it's closer to the traditional acronym for Player Killer. You want to win at all costs, grief the Trials lobby, cause unnecessary anxiety for unsuspecting gamers? Here's your guy right here. These types of Titans, they are everywhere in the Crucible, and these demons are the type of Titans we're going to be focused on today. Now let's talk about why they are so good. SMGs. Let's look at the Unending Tempest, for example. It has an optimal TTK, time to kill, of about 0.7 seconds across all tiers of resilience. The suboptimal body shot TTK for SMGs like the Unending Tempest, 1 second. In fact, let's compare that with some of the more popular weapons in Crucible right now. Here's my favorite Igneous Hammer. It rolls a precision instrument and encore. It still has a TTK of 1 second, and you have to land all your precision hits. If you're Radiant with this gun, then it's probably going to kill a little bit faster. Don't get me wrong, this gun is brilliant, it's broken, but Unending Tempest, that's an absolute joke. What about the more recently buffed Thorn with its catalyst? According to D2 Foundry, the optimal TTK for Thorn is 0.87 seconds at tier 10 resilience, with the body shot TTK being 1.73 seconds. Now that you understand how broken SMGs are in general, imagine you pair this with Peacekeepers, giving you instant ready, granting auto-loading holster after 1 second, and increased movement speed. What you have are Titans flying around, outputting oppressive amounts of damage across the map, being an absolute terror. On top of this, the ease of use of SMGs, the fact that if you miss a shot, you can just adjust your aim with relative ease while your opponent is being flinched to Narnia with SMG pellets. GG, well played. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling of going from full health to 0 HP in less than a second, literally 0.7 seconds. And we haven't even talked about the abilities yet. At this point in Destiny, the Titan toolkit itself is basically broken. Let's list a few, shall we? Barricades, so you can lock down angles easily or force opponents to spend resources to get rid of them. Scatter grenades, you know, in case you wanted to get out of jail free button. Void overshield with offensive bulwark, you know, just for shits and giggles, so you can tank an extra 2 to 3 shots in a gunfight, plus increased grenade regen, 2 times lightning grenades on striker titans, because, you know, forget armamentarium, just equip the aspect. Shoulder charge, need I say more? In most games, when you have an advantage, it typically comes with a penalty. Let's say in fighting games, if you play Zangief, you have high HP at the cost of being slower, and the opposite if you play a speed character, you have lower HP. In Destiny, Titans have access to the fastest time to kill, the fastest movement, the highest damage mitigation, fast super regen, and I'm talking about Ward of Dawn here. And if it wasn't bad enough, Titans have easily one of the simplest playstyles to execute. Don't know what to do in a 3v1 situation? Run in there and shoulder charge. Best case scenario, if it connects, you AoE suppress or flashbang and wipe out the opponent's team. And if you want the ultimate bailout, wear some peregrine greaves and make short work of everyone. On top of that, shoulder charge tracking is absolutely immense. Good luck trying to dodge or Icarus dash backwards to bait or avoid it. I could go on and on about this, but I think you guys get the picture I'm trying to paint here. Take it from me, an ex-Titan main. I understand the Titan power fantasy, but this is just brain dead and easy at this point. Let's face it, Titans are simply the biggest crutch in Destiny PvP right now. This all seems pretty bleak. Is there any hope? The good news is you're still playing another human being, and assuming they aren't cheating or using enhancements of some sort, you can still outthink or outplay these players. Unfortunately, the bad news is there is little margin for error and you always have to be on point. So here are some of my anti-Titan tips for you. Tip number 1, a very obvious one. I mentioned this in my previous video. You have to commit these PK Titan names in your lobby to memory. Tip number 2, PK Titans will beat you to their spots first. Unless you're playing Strand Hunter or running transverses steps on your Warlock, they will likely get first peak with their Cloudstrike, and you might just cost your entire team a round because you got picked. Honestly, even if you do have the speed, it's not worth ego challenging PK Titans. What you want to do is something like a delayed or staggered peak. You can actually apply this principle to snipers and laners in general. Tip number 3, PK Titans have a tendency to backpedal to bait you into the optimal TTK SMG range. Oftentimes you'll bust out in desperation looking for a shotgun bailout, but in these situations you can choose to bait the radar by faking an aggressive push but sliding backwards with your primary out. Recently I've actually whipped out the Chaperone because of this issue. Chaperone can actually punish Titans in this range and catch them with their pants down. Pause. It's been surprisingly effective. You do have to hit your shots though, so of course there's a little bit of a skill issue there. Tip number 4, Titans love to throw scatter grenades at round start. It's how they open things up and cause chaos. I noticed they typically do this at especially popular choke points or lane peaks, especially when teammates are holding hands. An example of this is Diamond Doors on Javelin 4. They'll run out off spawn and pre-nade Diamond Door, causing all kinds of chaos. Tip number 5, a general anti-Titan tip. When Titans put up a barricade, especially a void one, never allow them to comfortably sit behind it. They have increased grenade regen the longer they have an overshield, feeding their annoying ass scatter grenades. However, unless you're absolutely at a safe distance, you want to hipfire this so you have access to your radar while cleaning up the lanes. You want to get very ruthless at shooting down barricades as quick as possible. Use your charge melees, grenades, everything. Treat them as top priority. No free map control. Tip number 6, finally, this also applies in general. Never let them get the feeling that you're somehow scared of them. It encourages them to simply run at you with reckless abandon. As much as I want to hate on Titans, especially with all the fake Titan imposters out there, it does present an opportunity to reflect, to think about the ways to improve your gameplay, take on less risk, but also become a better player. There are moments though where the deck can feel stacked against you and it feels like you simply can't compete with PK Titans. But don't just roll over. There will be plenty of matches you rage quit, but for the most part, try to look at it as an opportunity to tighten up your game and your fundamentals. A lot of these imposters aren't fundamentally sound. They just know how to optimize the oppressive flowchart. Well, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this. How do you feel about the current Titan meta? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time, your boy Sincere signing out.